Yeah.
I'm curious what the biggest barrier you encounter with people in helping them shift their thinking.
Yeah, I would say getting them to the point where they realize that they're in the driver's seat. I think a lot of people hear that and think on paper, yeah, that makes sense. But until they actually start taking responsibility for the things that they can control, that's when the switch happens. Because people often come in saying, well, if my job was different, if my partner was different, if so-and-so was different. We can't change anyone else. We can only change ourselves. So when people come to that realization and then start taking action, that's the biggest shift by far.
How do you usually get people to come around to that thinking?
I often say with coaching, we're giving you some information, but I think it's about asking the right questions to unlock your wisdom. Like, I don't get you from A to B. I ask the right questions to help you get yourself from A to B. So that's a little different for everyone depending on what's going on, but it's often like we always have a conversation around like, what is it that needs to be nourished? What is it that you are lacking right now? And that's going to be different for everyone. And that's different for me as well, right? Like, I do the same exercises for myself on a regular basis. Like, we have this wheel of life exercise. So you can kind of say, I'm fully satisfied in this area, or I'm kind of, or, and you sort of create a weird looking wheel. And then I kind of ask you, like, would that wheel roll? Could you actually, you might be low on all areas, but that's balanced. You might be really high in some areas and low in the other. So it's kind of like hitting a pothole. But ask yourself, what are those areas that really need to be nourished? And they might not be anything that you thought. Like, when I did that exercise for the first time, I found what I was lacking at the time while pregnant was physical activity. I had a lot of like body pain going on. And then I was also lacking kind of some spiritual need. And you can find the weirdest things to satisfy. Like, I found swimming satisfied both of those, because I was getting movement in a way that didn't hurt me. And there's something for me very meditative about the just like stroke, 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 breathe, stroke, 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 breathe. I would never have thought that. You think spiritual and you think, maybe that's religious, maybe that's crystals, maybe that's whatever. It's so individual for every person. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I imagine that the things you are focusing on, like if you're really focusing on your diet or your fitness, maybe those are the areas you're overstressing on a little bit, and it's those areas that you're not thinking about at all, like you mentioned, like the spiritual area.
Some of the struggle with focusing on these areas so much is that we've managed to unlearn listening to our body. Like, we've kind of let intuition become a thing of the past, because we've been told, say with your diet, eat clean, eat whole, or, follow X number of calories a day. Like, we're being told these rules instead of like actually going, am I hungry? What are the foods that satisfy me? Because the things that satisfy me might not satisfy you. I hate kale with a passion. I'm not going to eat it no matter how many people tell me it's a superfood. Spinach, love it. We'll have it all day long. Protein is what I need first thing in the morning. Other people could deal with more fats or carbohydrates, and that works for them. Like, we need to learn to listen to our body. The same with sleep. Number of hours that works for you going to be different from me. Water consumption, all these things. There's been this rule, but you need to learn to listen to your body and figure out what works for you. It's the same with stress. Some people can handle I would never want to be a lawyer. I can't handle, like, that would not be my ideal job.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to, like, jam on that. It's going to be their thing.
Well, and adding things into your life, I imagine, need to fit. So if you know you're lacking exercise, forcing yourself to go to the gym every day for an hour, while it might be good for you for your fitness, I imagine that that's probably not going to help you if you're burned out and you're seeing that as an additional pressure.
The thing about any habit change is it's going to be more successful if you make it attractive. So if you make it something that you like doing. Do you like dancing? Do you like swimming? Do you like yoga? Do you just like going for a walk? Figure out what you enjoy and you'll do it way more often. Same with food, same with sleep, same with everything.